Hello everyone who's really enjoying just sailing the 7 seas, or just the one big sea in this case in Meter. I am BorderWise and welcome to From the Depths Stable Update version 4.3.2. It's the big sail update. We've been waiting for this for a damn long time, if I do say so myself. And Rambot is, as you can see, very happy about this. So, new sails are in Stable Branch. That is the big news. And as is usual, we're going to be reading out the patch notes. There's more changes coming, so probably more videos are coming. This is probably going to be a bonus little video for the week. And just for the disclaimer, I wasn't covering alpha changes because there's too many too fast, and things keep changing back and forth. So that's why that hasn't been happening. In the meantime, let's read through this update. So here I have my handy tab. Oh god, alright, no regrets are happening. Alright, we can read out things while you look at Sailboat. The headline feature of this update is the new sail system created by Luxon after many months of work. A long list of fixes across missiles, fires, steam, APS and more have also been done during this extensive update period. Also in this update I, Sean, have implemented a huge optimization for buoyancy, which should no longer make air pumps the crazy lag machines they used to be. Gmodism is going to be very happy about that. After this update goes live, I'll be looking at some other ways to further optimize performance, which I've already had the initial okay on. Some neater updates make it in time, they'll be added next week at some point in a patch, so I'm already sorted for what I'm doing next week, I guess. Thanks again to all campaign builders and bounty entrants, like, really, thank you to the community people who do this, like, there wouldn't be a game without you. And enjoy. And the ship is... Let's see, can I do this? Well, this ship, let's just open this in a new tab. This bloody gorgeous thing is by Odez using the new sail, so now you can make really properly gorgeous ships of the line and that kind of thing, and it's all extremely pretty, so well done Odez for that. Alright, let's read out more patch notes. So first things first, SAILS 2.0 added a new system to create sails, having an origin block that you connect to special attachment points, which appears to be a similar thing to how tracks work for wheels, which is really cool. Broadside 2.0 added an option to prefer broadside switching across the front or back, improved behavior for getting the fastest switch method, preventions for broadside chasing. So what that means is that typically what's happened. Let's well, firstly let's kill Rambot because their usefulness has ended. Where'd they go? Bye, Rambot! So what tends to happen is, when you have something... What broadside behavior does this even have? This actually does show off that. So if we set this to the default, we should see some broadside chasing. And what happens is, what's a good thing that illustrates this? I think what really illustrates this very well, let's go find the sailfish, which would annihilate this thing because it's an unarmed, like, scooty yacht. So this thing is trying to broadside. Its broadside setting is about 75 degrees. What the hell? Ah, I think that's a bug, because I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to be, like, damaged like that yet. Right, so now what's going to happen is we're broadsiding, let's... So now it's trying to run away. And if everything... That is pretty cool damage effects to the sails. I don't think they're supposed to regenerate that fast. Ironically, the one time I want things to actually work correctly. Let's do that. There we go. Let's see some chasing. Yeah, this is generally what happens with broadside settings, is what you end up with. If something is closing in on you too fast, you just kind of end up running away from it endlessly. So let's see, switch by fastest method, turn towards the enemy, and that should, there we go. We are holding our distance. We're still chasing. But nope, there's a broadside, there we go. Alright, nice one. Still kind of being chased, but like, alright, let's try the other way. Turning away from the enemy, let's try that. That is very chasey. That is making good distance, but yeah, no, definitely you want to, if you actually want broadside things to actually happen, you'd want to turn towards them. Still getting a broadside chasey thing here, but meh, it is better than it was before. Alright, let's repair all of this. And maybe the sails will regenerate at some point. I like the visual sail damage, it's just a little bit weird how it keeps regenerating. I mean, it is regenerating bit by bit. Huh. Interesting. Anyway, so there's that. How do the new sails work, by the way? Let's just make a little mini sail here, just for demonstration. So, over in the water section, they don't have a little preview yet. So what you've got is this. This is very similar to the old one. You got the main block right there, and you've got the new sail attachment. Goes there, and you can make square sails or triangular ones. I prefer triangular ones just because. And you go to sail configuration, create sail, click, click, and there's our tiny little sail. And let's just do a slightly different version. We could do something like, what could we do? Let's make a square sail over here just to show off that we can do that. So if we do that, we would do something like this, I think. Except it would probably look a little bit prettier if we were doing it for realsies. So let's try that. Alright, so first things first, let's freeze this in time because that makes it a lot easier. Click, click, click. And then we got a little square sail. Hell yeah. And over there as well, it's actually really simple and you can do all kinds of cool things. You can put emblems on them. So in my case, I have put my channel mascot Sooty over there. So there's the URL right here, just an Imgur link in my case. Probably doesn't have to be like that. And you can customize all kinds of things. And particularly, I like the alpha brightening because that's how you're getting these lovely white sails like this. So you can do that, and that turns that off, and then you can make it very bright or not so bright. About halfway seems to work well, at least for this particular thing right here. Okay, lovely. Now that that's out of the way, we can move on with the patch notes. And I'm just going to pull this thing into and out of play, so we get nice, crispy sails. And this sometimes happens. The sails kind of... There's this weird thing that happens where the sails kind of disconnect for some reason. It's really irritating. Okay, please stop. I don't know why they do this. It's just kind of... They just kind of do. Hello? Hello? There we go. Hello? There we go. Alright, there we go. Right. Create sail. Go there, go there. It's really weird. I suspect that has something to do with, like, trying to copy-paste from multiple sails. So maybe we shouldn't do that. I don't know. That is a tiny little bug, which by the looks of it has yet to be squashed. Let me just save my vehicle right here. Hee. Alright. Breadboard! Breadboard Maths Evaluator now has a dot normalize function for vectors. Debugger. Added debugging for fires and laser in the damage debugger. Oh, very nice. Let's go see that. Where's the damage debugger? There it is. Fire and laser effects. Let's test that, actually. Let's set this thing on fire. Why not? Let's go... Well, first thing, we're going to turn that on. Record fire effects. Shift-T. And fire. And let's have... Yep. And there you can see it. Wasn't this... I vaguely recall this being a thing before, but I guess not. We're not in God mode, so that should just burn. While that's burning... we can keep reading. Prefab. Added block only, no deco mode to the prefab tool. I was trying to figure this out earlier and I couldn't, so let's see here. Where? I don't actually know how to do this. Let's see. Prefab. Alright, erase all blocks. Capture prefab now. I'm not seeing an option for that, but maybe I'm just dumb. But like, I don't know where that is, and the patch notes don't actually say. That is pretty sweet though. Like, wait a minute. If maybe it's in the load. So if I go, if I go here, what was my last placeholder? Here, and nope. That does not appear to be working. I don't know what to click on. Maybe I'm silly. Maybe I just don't see it. Anyway, let's see our fire going. Alright, Blueprint Spawner added a toggle to override the default 30-second spawn timer trigger on ACBs if something is already held. So, let's find the Blueprint Spawner. So that's this. Let's see here. Where's it? So hold to minimum hold time. Alright, hold on. 30-second spawn time trigger on ACBs if something is already held. There's a toggle. I don't see the toggle. Oh, block spawn. Oh. Okay, then there it is. We found it. We can lock spawns while holding. Okay, jolly good. How's our boat doing? It's slowly burning. I should probably build on a different part of this canoe yacht thing because I think the front is just going to fall off. That is funky. Yep, there it goes. There goes the pitch control. We're now a-flying. Alright, and we're showing the path that the fire takes. Also, we can probably check the fire tool. It's over here. Aha! I'm still on the fire tool. It shows it. So fuel is doing that. Da-da-da. Jolly good. Alright. While this thing burns and turns more orange. Steam added Steam Valve multiplayer synchronization when used with ACBs. Lovely. Steam added the ability to change the power priority of Steam crank motors. That wasn't a thing before? Hold on a second. Let's ruin the balance of this thing by putting a Steam prefab on it. Where's a good Steam prefab? Let's go here. Like so. So here. Was this not here before? Steam crank motors. Oh, this. This is what they're doing. Oh, there we go. All right. I need to remember to read. Well, isn't it nice how you can make something that is burning to death, but is still flying quite nicely. That's nice. And the sails are also getting raggedy over there. That's nice. Okay, then. And missiles added the large interceptor type. So let's see that right now. Large interceptors added back in, presumably to dial down people's reliance on medium interceptors. Just don't mind me, I'm turning my phone on silence because it just beeped at me. Where is a missile? There's a missile. Don't mind the fire, it's doing great work. So we're gonna go launch, we're gonna have a rail launcher. 1, 2, 3. We have no... Okay, we need actually some ammunition. And so we got a 4-section thing there. If we go APN, and there we go, missile interceptor, which does a crap ton of damage. And I've been looking forward to this because I do want something that's less fiddly than Diff Seawiz to deal with crams. 28,000 damage is aplenty. So what's 4 of these? 4 of them would do around 100,000 damage. That should be enough for most cram cannons. I'll be playing around with these off camera. But yeah, there's more notes on this. They're added back in just because people are, I guess, relying on... I don't know if Diff Seawiz is the reason given for this. I think it says elsewhere in the patch notes. So anyway, are you still on fire? No, you are not. So we've seen the path the fire takes, and we can just go with the damage debugging. Clear all, and we can repair our thing. Yes, fly, you beautiful flying boat, fly. Anyway, changes. There's a lot of changes. Bottom connection flamer's idle aim animation can now be set for their full rotation. Jolly good. Heavy armor buoyancy. So this is a big deal. This is a balance change which I don't know if I'm the first one to suggest it. I'm almost certainly not the only one to suggest it. But heavy armor, one of the problems with it is that it's damn heavy. But... Oh, goodness. Excuse me. Alright, so... problem with heavy armor is that if you try and use it on a boat, it's so heavy that you need to dedicate so much extra material in wood or alloy to get it float. Because if you're using, like, up props or anything like that... you might as well just make a flying thrustercraft then. There's not much point. So what has been done is... it's just as heavy as it was before, but it's got more buoyancy. So it used to be at the same relative buoyancy as lead. It now is about, somewhat about half the buoyancy. It is like now twice as buoyant as lead, which means if you slap heavy armor down, you go over here. Okay, you stop moving because we're going to need to go over there. So back in the day, you needed about 4 alloy beams to get 1 block of heavy armor to float. So now that is sinking as a stone. 2.5 alloy to make this float, so we can do that. So about 3 of it. And it is floating! Not incredibly well, but it is floating. So this is a direct buff to using ships, because it means that you can actually have more heavy armor on things that just float. So this is to try and get it to make things like ships a little bit more viable in the game, which is very good, because ships weren't very viable. But now, you don't need to have a thrustercraft flying brick monster in order to spam heavy armor. You can do that on the water, which is very nice. Very, very nice indeed. Right, go forth, my child. Go forth. Go forth and patrol! Whee! Decorations. Spotlights can now be hidden by decorations. Ooh, that's very nice. Resources. All constructs now have a minimum of 10 material storage to avoid soft locks in adventure mode. You can actually see that down there. This thing has no material containers at all, but it still has 10 materials, which is very nice. Very nice indeed. Okay, paddles. Change HP armor cost from 75.33 to 175.35.5. So paddles are slightly more expensive. Let's go find the paddles. 75.35.3, 75.35.3. Oh no, that's weight. All right. So nope, the cost is 5. So they're slightly more expensive, but slightly more durable, which is understandable because it means that like more encouraging to use paddles instead of just relying on, you know, just the same old propellers over and over again. ERA changed sloped ERA cost from 2.5 to 5. This is a necessary change. Devs themselves have confirmed that ERA is pretty frickin' useless. The thing is that ERA armor slopes used to be about half the cost of regular ERA, but that just made them better in like every single way. But yeah, so there's functionally no difference here. The slope has half the health. That's it. That's the only real difference between these two things. So, good news. Both types of ERA are just as useless as each other right now. Actually, this one is more useless because it has less health. Not that ERA has that much health anyway. So it has 100 health, which is half the health of a wooden block, which is impressively bad. Okay, so now Lua changed from Slua to Moonsharp, so it should work on Mac OS again. Lucky for the people on Macs. Let's have this be better. There we go. Don't mind the damaged sails and all that. Refill. APS Refill now also refills Rail Charge and Absorption from the UI in Designer. So in case anyone's wondering, you hit the Q thing, hit the refill, reload all. Now, according to this patch note, that should also refill Rail Charge and Absorption, which is very good. Air Pumps with Buoyancy added Sean's Ultra Mega Air Pump and Buoyancy Optimization 2029 TM. That, I think, is a little bit jokey, but yeah, for anyone who wasn't aware, air pumps used to be, like, horribly laggy, and there was just some kind of, I don't know what was causing it exactly. It was some kind of fault in the coding that just made them eat CPU resources like way more than they should, but Sean has fixed that, which means we can once again use actual air pumps for buoyancy the way it were intended, which should also is another buff for ships, because it means you can have something with a lot of heavy armor, and you can have air pumps to help keep it afloat, which is very useful. Decorations, well, okay, no, going back, okay. Missiles, interceptor range has been reduced on all types. Missiles torpedoes are no longer slowed down by damage to them, which is very good for me and my torpedo bombers, Missiles air interceptors will no longer target torpedoes, which is actually a good thing, because sometimes you don't want them to do that. But yeah, it means that you actually need dedicated torpedo defense, and you can't just You can't just have your above-water interceptors pull double duty for torpedoes. Or you can just do what I do, which is make hydrofoils which have basically no sonar signature. That works too. Building it is now possible to edit decorations in mouse build mode, which I didn't know you couldn't. Damn. So all you mouse builders out there, good news for you. Steam, valves should no longer be EMP susceptible. I do remember seeing that in my Steam build menu walkthrough. Let's go have a look-see. Steam valve. Yep, it's got no EMP vulnerability anymore. Lovely, lovely. And railguns have been changed, will append once I have collected the details. So that is like a whole slew of extra stuff. But suffice it to say, there's now railgun barrels with their own mesh, which is really nice. Let's actually see them like this. So this is basically combining the railgun magnets in with the actual railgun barrel itself, which means that you now have actual official use of the 3x3 Omni-Mantlet railgun, which is kind of a buff to... Let's go here. So now, previously you couldn't really use railgun components with Omni-Mantlets, unless you did funny stuff that is actually going to be patched out, so there's not much point going into detail. But now, we have these sweet-as railgun barrels. And variants. Oh wow, we got a completely hollow one. That's sick as hell, look at that. What does this look like? Oh, that's dope. Oh, I like that. Like, you could have them, like, minus... You can have them, like, minus the actual barrel itself. That's really cool. I like that. So, yeah, there's the big changes coming with railguns in this update. Basically, pure railguns from what I understand. I can't give you details because I don't know what the final results are. But yeah, so pure railguns should be more viable rather than just always having a hybrid gunpowder railgun stuff. So there's that. There's also a huge lot of fixes, which some of which is more important, and others I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go down the list. Links will be in the description for the patch notes. Da 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 da. La 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 la. Lots of fixes. 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 Lots of fixes, lots of fixes. Alright, so one particularly important thing, Broadside 2.0 now uses the correct side when trying to use the side with the highest firepower. I wasn't using that because, I don't know, broadside. I'm a circle at a distance man. There is that. Lots of things, lots of things, lots of things, lots of things. There is one thing in particular that is really important to mention. Okay. Alright. One general thing, added protection to V menu where camera locked onto an enemy, prevent changing the settings on the enemy, exploit fix. Alright, so long list of things. A lot of these bugs I was just completely unaware of, so there you go. There's content changes, so again, huge list here. Like, feel free to, if you're on the high enough resolution, you can literally just pause and read here if you so choose. Not going to read all this out. There's lots of stuff over here. What's a particular thing? Let's look at the new crossbones, actually. That could be quite fun. Yeah, new crossbones, new Alcazar is probably quite handy to note. So let's look at the new crossbones. You get to be in God mode, my friend. Yes, yes, so yes. So the crossbones is a little bit more expensive than it used to be, but that's because I forget what we added here. Generalized improvements to speed, armor, firepower, and defensive functionality, plus a new pop-up missile turret in the bow. This thing, by the looks of it. Presumably, people were evading the crossbows too much. Did this thing just shoot itself? So yeah, it doesn't look that much different. It's just kind of subtle what changes have happened. So there's that, and there's the new Alcazar. So I hope the devs didn't buff the Alcazar just to make me sad, because the Alcazar traumatized me back in the day, because it was about roughly 300k craft, and that Intel image is out of date, by the way. That just happened to be just big enough to cause problems if you were still only using tiny starter crafts, so there's that. So here is the new Alcazar. It's a godly, it costs twice as much, and the side guns are now hull-mounted and have a hell of a rate of fire and double as CWIS. So yeah, new Alcazar is way more scary. And just, yeah, just all around a menace to health and society. And the Crossbones is having a very bad day, so there's kind of a thing with Onyx Watch at the moment, is that, like, they're really going in for the whole AP, timed APHE thing, which is, like, really cool. Something just exploded. What exploded was the Crossbones. Yep, lots of explosions are happening. Yeah, Crossbones is getting its socks rocked. So yeah, Alcazar has big lambs, it has big Siwas. It's just all around a scary, scary boy. What else, what else? Lots of things. I want to lock onto the Alcazar right there. Alright, so the Candela has been overhauled again. So if you don't know what that is a Lightning with Godly. Overhauled, removed carrier capabilities, augmented to be more general purpose rather than dedicated anti-swarmer. Godly difficulty, adventure difficulty 75 to 9. Let's be mean and spawn a Candela behind. That is more expensive than I remember. Let's go have a look at you. Oh, that has lasers up the wazoo. Oh, that is bursts. It fires in bursts by the looks of it. It goes bzzzt. I wonder if that's intentional. It absolutely is by the looks of it. Oof. Ooh, wow. Ah, that must be a... What's the term for it again? Oh, wow, the Alcazar is now getting double-teamed. Oh, this is nasty. This is nasty. Alright, what is that thing called? What is it called? What is it called? What is it? The output regulator. Yeah, that, by the looks of it, I'm not gonna look in detail here, the Candela is using an output regulator to fire just a very quick burst of a very strong laser. It took out a gun on that side. Oof. Let's look at the Candela some more. Alright, so here's various things. La 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 la. La 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 la. Let's go look at Twin God. Acceptance, a new plane. Alright, let's spawn in the Acceptance. Maybe we'll be able to accept it. It is a... what is it? Acceptance is a new plane. Medium difficulty. Let's go find it. There it is. Let's go have a look. This looks familiar. Looks very pretty. Alright, it's like... This is very well done. Look at this! Oof, who made this? Matt. Of course it would be Matt. Okay, there's that. Steel Striders. Overhauled. What is it? There's a very specific thing here I'm looking for. Cosmetic improvements. The Heracles. That is a new thing over there. This is starting to feel like the main menu, honestly. Alright, let's spawn in the Heracles, which is a medium difficulty thing. There it is. So this is kind of an AC-130 style of gunship. You can see there it goes. No way, Jose. Is everything just aiming for the Alcazar? And it's a cram plane that's got the howitzer on it. Who made this? Carbango! Very nice. Interesting, everything hates the Alcazar. Damn. Alright then, so there's that, and let's just see... Alright, so the new Megalodon is not in yet. The Harpia's spin blocking doesn't appear to have been fixed. Hold on. There's a way to check. I want to see if the Harpia's spin blocking has been fixed, because it personally offends me. Right, there is yonder the Harpia. Whoopsie daisy, didn't mean to do that. Where am I? Help! Aha! I'm not in Great Talon Scholars. Let's just see here. Has this been fixed? Come on, guys. Hold on. Is this... Is this spin block clipping? Doesn't appear to be, actually. Maybe I was le harsh. Okay, well... Ah, well. Damn, those burst lasers are actually doing a really good job here. It's not easy to actually do damage to the Harpy in a way that sticks. Although I think the Candela might have had its lasers disabled. It just lost... No, it got its detection taken out. What the hell? Damn. Anyway, you get to see, like, funky colors on the outers for a second. Not outers, the Harpia. Right. Various other things. Alright, Nita campaign in general. Fix the Scarlet Skies campaign victory trigger to properly be addressed as a victory condition. Update the short description to both pass-fail conditions. And fix a broken victory condition to be necessary again. Excellent! I ran into that, like, firsthand. So that's good to news. Fixed a misplaced Fulgurite in the Twin God campaign is now properly placed in a resource zone as intended. Awesome! Also ran into that, personally. Deepwater Guard fleet color slightly adjusted. Secondary Alpha increased from 064 to 078. Applies to both Nita and Ashes of the Empire. And various things with Ashes of the Empire, and Glau, and Guides in Misk. And that's about it, really. So yeah, main thing is... Not you. Where's my sail thing? Alright, there is too much violence. Go away. And... Go away, Harpia. No one likes you. Apart from the people who do. Yes, disintegrate, you horrible flying brick. So yeah, new sail update. There's various things happening. There's going to be a separate video for the railgun changes, because I do want to read it from the horse's mouth, so to speak. So... We'll append once Sean's collected the details, whenever that is, so look forward to that. Hi there, mid-production BorderWise here. I was literally editing this video when the, like, extra patch notes have come through. So, judging by where it was previously, alright, so prefab max size is now increased to 999, so you can see that literally by doing this. You can keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm not going to go all the way, because that is silly. APS, longer recoil absorbers now give extra recoil capacity based on length, which is super cool. Means that there's an actual reason to use longer ones. Weapons, weapon sync can now be saved inside of prefabs and sub-objects, which is super cool and handy. Targeting logic has been adjusted. Now targets are determined by occupied cells on a craft rather than individual blocks. Affects AI targeted missiles, which means that you might actually be able to get away with putting cram cannons. That's not cram cannons. With putting cram cannons in the center of your craft, because like it means that cram cannons and other dense clusters of single dots aren't going to be a hotspot for AI targeting anymore. Alright. APS. Railgun casings have 40% reduced recoil for energy used on them, so pure railguns don't require insane amounts of recoil absorption anymore. Very nice. APS. Hollow point head now gives a higher speed increase. Again, very nice. It was always a little bit weird that they were slow. APS. Railgun component cost and performance has been increased. This is to offset the benefits that they currently have. APS, longer recoil absorbers now give some extra recoil capacity based on length and armor. ERA now weakens frag projectiles. So let's just go double check that. La 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 la. I thought they kind of did that before though. Triggered shell fragmentation warheads explode with 180-degree angle and 20% damage. I kind of thought they did that already, but like I don't know. Like, I don't remember everything about everything. All right, so ERA now is somewhat anti-frag. Very nice. Anyway, that appears to be everything for the actual changes section that Sean just added in. And now back to the vehicle, not the vehicle, to the video outro. In the meantime, thank you so much to the devs and community volunteers for keeping this game going, because it is, shock horror, a very good game, and it deserves attention and praise, etc. So yeah, thank you so much to those working hard on From the Depths, and thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Support me on Patreon or YouTube membership if you like. It really helps, and there's fun perks in it for you, like at the lowest tier, access to a Patreon-exclusive Discord, where you can hang out with me and other cool people. We can talk about what we're putting on our sales, and there's other perks too. At higher tiers, I will review your craft for you, I'll build craft for you, I'll do art for you. Somebody asked me to do art for them. I want to do art more. And we're streaming on Twitch. Plutono custom campaign chugging along. Taken a million years to make, but that tends to be the case when you have like 400 plus vehicles in a campaign. Do I regret that? Yes. Am I backing down from that challenge? No. Have a great day, have fun with the new SAILS and everything else, and I'll see you next time in From the Depths. Farewell. Something about sailing off into the distance that is just oh so relaxing. We're leaving taxes behind.